Fox 44 presents Veterans Voices, honoring those who served.
Hello, and welcome to Fox 44's Veteran Voices. I'm Adam Hooper.
And I'm MG Montemayor. Well, over the next 30 minutes, you'll meet veterans who are using the skills they earn in the military to enter a new phase in their lives.
Some are helping their fellow veterans while others are helping out their communities.
We start in Waco, where Fox 44's Branchavia Jordan shows us how a veteran takes an interesting turn away from his time in the military.
From the outside, you would think Cottontail Jones is just another clothing boutique, but it's a store with a bigger meaning. Robert Lim was active duty for 6 years before serving 8 years in the Army National Guard. In 2016, while in the reserves, he got a business degree and didn't know a hobby he had would turn into something more.
We just felt that we needed to start our own business, more in line with our interests. So I had started in photography, which was actually not part of my military training. It was just always a hobby of mine. Doing well there, and then we transitioned to adding a children's store to our photography.
Lim says while doing photography, he found a niche for newborn and families. And as a father of 6, his business had a bigger meaning to it.
Our photography name is 8 Limbs Photography, so we have the 2 of us adults and then 6 kids, so that's where the 8 comes from. So, and our logo is an octopus, so kind of 8 limbs, and it's because the limb is my last name.
And his photography hobby has now transitioned into a store-studio combo with a different name. They started Cottontail Jones out of their own pocket, but his military experience did help out.
A lot of the military mentality of how the camaraderie, the teamwork, the supervision, everything, the interpersonal skills helped me to run a business.
When they moved to Waco at the end of 2018, they searched for the best location to plant their growing business.
We kind of wanted downtown, so we started actually a couple blocks up the street in March of 19, and then we moved here in this location August of 20.
Lim says there's a big difference from being in the military and full-time entrepreneurship.
More freedom, I guess, and able to do what you want. But as I said, the military training gave me a good base to basically interact and be sociable with people.
Lim says it's also very rewarding to do what he loves with his family by his side.
Every dollar we spend comes out of our pocket, and every dollar that we bring in goes to the store, comes in, and then comes to help feed the table too. So it's a lot of involvement being an entrepreneur.
Lim says anyone would be lucky to hire someone from the military because of their work ethic and skills. In the studio, Branchavia Jordan, Fox 44 News.
Thanks, Branchavia. Well, one of the tenets of all branches of the military is that you never leave a man or woman behind. 3 men who have served our country in the military are now giving back to both veterans and active duty service members.
Now, as Fox 44's Mally Jones shows us, these men have careers based on giving to the military by serving in local organizations.
There are many different organizations around the community in which veterans are serving veterans. Rolando Hernandez, Tyrone Richardson, and Jacob Romero are 3 of those people serving their fellow brothers and sisters.
A lot of times, we do have veterans that once they get home, they don't really know what it is that they can apply for, what's afforded to them. A lot of times they have trouble assimilating back into the community.
Hernandez serves in leadership positions in veterans organizations.
Marines love to be around other Marines, so we started flocking with each other and started helping each other. And I strongly believe that, not only because of that, it helped me volunteer for stuff.
He said the people in those organizations have special connections.
There's a lot of things that veterans can only talk to other veterans about that they understand.
Tyrone Richardson served from 1995 to 2003. He is a part of the Wounded Warriors Project and the DAV. Jacob Romero served from 2007 to 2013, and now he is in the Marine Corps League and runs the Waco Silkies Invasion.
The camaraderie, the friendships you gain, the people, the way you can bring camaraderie out of people who otherwise would have just stayed home.
And a time for all veterans to come together.
A day where we all tease each other, all the branches tease each other. It's a fun-loving camaraderie, a brotherhood, sisterhood. That's just the nature of being a veteran.
Mally Jones, Fox 44 News.
Veterans from across the country are traveling to D.C. once again after COVID-19 grounded honor flights for 18 months.
Jesse Teneur introduces us to some of the special veterans who took part in one of the latest trips to Washington, D.C.
God bless the United States.
A hero's welcome.
Thank you, sir.
For 122 veterans at the memorials dedicated to honoring their service and sacrifice.
Okay, big smile.
Strangers at the National Mall asked for photos and shook their hands.
Hey, brothers?
While some families celebrated generations of military service in D.C. together. This honor flight from Columbus, Ohio gave those who served during the World War II, Korea, and Vietnam eras an all-expenses-paid trip to reunite with those who survived and remember those who didn't.
Real joy to be out here today.
Bill Lawson served in the Navy during the Vietnam War, a time when he said many returned home to a much different reception.
Being cursed and spat on, and I think this is just a wonderful way to show we appreciate every military person.
The pandemic grounded all honor flights for 18 months. Precious time for some veterans who were hoping to take the trip but passed away before they could.
There's not that many left from World War II that you can ask a lot of questions about.
Bill Jackson was the only World War II veteran on this honor flight. He served in the Navy, where he manned a gun turret.
Kamikazes and Philippines put 20 holes in our ship.
So you had a lot of close calls.
Yeah.
At 96 years old, Jackson still has vivid memories of the war, but was first reluctant to make the trip back to the memorial that honors it.
Are you glad you did?
Oh, yeah. They've been so nice to me. I can't believe it.
For Veterans Voices, I'm Jesse Teneur.
Coming up on Veterans Voices, how a local teenager raised tens of thousands for a veteran who almost lost her life in Afghanistan.
And we'll meet a 90-year-old veteran who's showing age is just a number, and it's never too late to leave.